Hi, I'm Benj. This is Doing Outdoors. And today we are going to start planting some more fruit trees in the orchard. We planted a load at the beginning of last year, but because we had such a dry summer, a couple of the trees have failed, but we also have a lot more room to fill. So I've bought another 16 fruit trees. It's a mixture of apple, plum and pear. They're all on the MM106 rootstock again. And I've also bought some more alder saplings, which are going to be the nitrogen fixing trees that we need to go in this permaculture orchard. And I've also bought some hazel saplings as well. They're going to be planted here, there and everywhere. I did plant a lot of nut trees last year, but again, because of the drought, most of those have failed. So we're basically just trying again. Hopefully the summer this year will be a little milder and give these trees a chance to get established. Once the pigs have been moved out of their corner of the orchard, we're going to have a load more space there that I'm also going to fill with fruit trees and nut trees. But we do still have little piggies running around in their pen, so we can't plant anything there just yet. Hey little pigweeners, good morning. You're right. So just a bit of an update. This is the orchard. We've got the beehives up in the top corner, and you can see the cages around some of these fruit trees. These are the ones that I planted last January. So they've been in here a year. And you can see the corner of the orchard that the pigs have been clearing for me all summer and all winter. And this is what's left of one of the alder trees that I planted. Absolutely bone dry dead. This is a walnut tree that I planted. I'm still not decided whether this is alive or dead, but I'll keep that in the ground for now. But the likes of the alder, here's another one, totally dead. But luckily I have got another 25 alder saplings to replace all of these. I planted 16 alder in here last winter, not one survived, so I bought 25, replaced the 16, and then I've got another 9 to fit in between these trees that I'm planting today. But first of all, let's get these noisy little pigwigs some breakfast. They sound hungry, don't they? Right, so that's going to keep them quiet for 5 minutes. So first of all, I'm going to go around and replace all the 16 alder that I planted last year. There's a particular way we've planted in this permaculture orchard, and that's not planting one tree of the same variety next to another. It goes N, A, P down the line. N for nitrogen fixer, which is the alder, A for apple, and P for pear, plum, cherry or nut. Well, I've just come up to see the bees actually. From where I'm setting up to plant the trees, I could see there's a lot of activity outside the beehives. It is quite a mild day, it's probably about 10 degrees. We are the 3rd of February now, so we're still in winter, but these bees, all 4 hives, are really active, and I can see that some of the bees are carrying leg pouches full of pollen, which is really encouraging. That means they're going to be able to feed themselves. Hopefully there's enough out there for them to get. But it's quite encouraging that all 4 of these hives are still active. Hopefully we're not going to have too much more of a cold spell, and these are going to thrive. but that's real good news. 4 bee colonies for 2023. One down, 24 to go. So we've now got all the alder replaced that were dead. In fact, there was one tree up near that pile of rubbish, an alder that I planted last year that survived. So out of the 16 that I planted, we do have one that survived. Not a total loss, but you can see where I'm stood. I don't know if you can make out the rows that we've planted. So where I'm pointing now is about due south. So we've planted in rows running from north to south, so when the sun comes round it will flood down between the rows and each tree will get its fair share of light. But what I need to do now is start planting some apple trees, pear trees, plum trees in the spaces that I have. Like this one, for instance, just down here we've got a nitrogen fixer, and then the next one, so that's an apple tree. So in here wants to be a pear, a plum or a cherry. And we've got nitrogen fixer, and where the spade's lent up, that's an apple tree. We got all 16 of the fruit trees in, which again were a mixture of apple, plum, pear and cherry. We've also planted 17 out of the 25 alder saplings that we had, and I've run out of space now. Until these piglets move from behind me and I can start using that space, I'm not going to be able to put any more fruit trees in here. So the few alder that I've got left, I'm going to plant them down the bottom of the hill, just in the bottom of my wood. There's a clear patch there that's always wet, and alder really like wet ground, so they should thrive down there. And then the 15 hazel that I've got, I'm just going to dot those around anywhere that I think will be a good spot. And just look at these cheeky chickens, making good use of my compost heap. Although they're doing me a favour, they are scratching it all around, turning it over a little bit. So the permaculture orchard is coming along quite nicely. Fingers crossed we'll have a few more trees survive this year than we did last year. The bees are still busy. They've been getting after me today. I've been wearing orange gloves, so I think they must think that I'm some sort of flower. But that's all I've got time for today on this one. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. What sort of biggie? Hey?